Hello everyone, I'm Aveline. Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all having an amazing day. So today we are building a rather large family home. I was kind of going through some of the themes that I often choose for my builds and was looking through them like which ones haven't I done for the longest time. And it hit me that Generations family home. I don't think I've done one of those for a long time. So that is what we're doing today. I was kind of like, do I want to make this a foster family home or do I want to make this a Generations family home? And I ended up making it a Generations family home. So whenever I do these, if you are, like, if you don't know, or you're new to the channel, or this is like the first video that you've, found, when I do Generations family homes, it basically means that the house has room for different generations. So say we have a pair of parents and they have their kids here of different age groups, by the way. So there's both room for a teen, a kid, and a toddler in this house. They also have at least one set of grandparents living in the house as well. I could not make room for two. I think I've done that before. Honestly, I don't really remember, but that's also because the upstairs in this house is actually surprisingly small. Like, it looks like there's a lot going on, but there really isn't. There's not a lot of upstairs space. However, that's where all the kids' bedrooms are. So we have like 3 bedrooms up there. But that's usually what I do when I do Generations family homes, so that we have room for several generations, basically. So I also actually went through some of my old videos on the channel. So I have been doing YouTube now for like, oh gosh, I think I started uploading regularly, so more or less on a daily basis, or at least like 3 times a week. Back in 2017 in May. I think I started the channel in January, started uploading a little bit by February, but then started uploading properly by May. Not saying that if you upload like every other week that you're not uploading properly, but compared to what I do now, that's what I mean. So when I was doing that, or while I was doing that, I was going through the themes at the same time just to see like which houses, also because sometimes it's fun to reminisce over old creations as well and see how much you've changed. Your building style, your interior style, landscaping style has changed a lot for me throughout the years. And I came across my Generations family home that I did. So I remember when I came up with the theme, I think I was having like, I think people on Twitter were really hoping for a Generations expansion pack, and that kind of sparked something. So I was like, I need to make a home for Generations. Like, that's cute. Also, because it's so much easier to play with, so you don't have to like move out people. Of course, still you can only have one pair of grandparents, so you're gonna have to move someone out. But it's a good house for like just staying in, if you know what I mean. Also, because you can customize the bedrooms. There's a total of 5 bedrooms in this house, along with 5 bathrooms at least, or at least 4 bathrooms and then 1 powder room. I don't exactly remember how I decorated one of the bathrooms on the ground floor. You can see that at the end of the video, actually, because I don't think I included any of the bathrooms in the footage. That was not done on purpose. I just think I forgot to record them. But I remember when I built the first Generations family home, that it was during like this time where people on Twitter were just really hoping for a Generations expansion pack, basically. I think they still kind of are, even though we have Parenthood game pack, but Parenthood game pack doesn't really cover everything. So, but now that we also have My Wedding Stories, that could have been in a Generations family home pack. So what did I just say? No, a Generations expansion pack. So I don't know what else they would put in there, maybe like hobbies or something. I have no idea. We are getting closer to summertime now because it is April, and that means we're getting closer to a new expansion pack release. I swear I can talk today. Well, I really don't know if I can. This might be a little bit of a messy voiceover. You have been warned. But anyway. So there should be a new expansion pack coming out in either June or July, I think. So like sometime during June or at least early July. So we are getting closer. I have no idea what it could be. None whatsoever. I have not seen any leaks, any teasers, anything whatsoever. But I'm assuming there's going to be one because there was not an expansion pack around like the end of the year, which is where we usually get our second one of the year. So if they kind of skip over the summer one, I will get a little bit worried. So I'm just gonna go ahead and assume that we're gonna get one. But I have no idea what it could be. I have no idea, just don't want anything futuristic, and by saying that out loud, I've probably just jinxed it. I'm terribly sorry. But my point was, if, like, what is the expansion pack that you would want the most right now? Is it still a Generations one, like something centered around family gameplay? I know that a lot of people are talking about wanting fairies and werewolves as well, but I think that's more something that would fit into a game pack or two for that matter. So I don't think they would put that in an expansion pack, to be honest. So if you can't answer with those, what else would you say? Like, what would you want in an expansion pack in the near future? Let me know, because I just want to stay updated. So as for the house, this is obviously a farmhouse looking kind of house. I was basically going through instead of continuously trying to find new pictures, like I said in my last voiceover, I think I have this tendency whenever I go on Pinterest, instead of going through all my Pinterest boards that I already have, that I can't share, by the way, because my real name is on Pinterest, so I prefer to just keep it, like, to myself. Also, I follow friends and stuff, it's just kind of, keep it to myself anyway. But I have a lot of different boards. I have basically my pictures split up into different architectural styles and stuff like that. So, like, I have a lot of pictures pinned on my boards, like a lot. I've basically been on Pinterest for 4 years, maybe? I don't know, 4.5? I don't really know. A long, long time. Possibly longer than that. But I have this tendency to, whenever I go on there to try and find something that can inspire me to build, I always go looking at new pictures. Instead of just going through the ones that I've already pinned on my boards, I always go looking at new ones. So I have so many, like I have like 2,000 pins or something like that. It's ridiculous. I have so many. And instead of just going through some of those and see if there's anything, like, I've already pinned them, so I must have obviously thought they were cool. So why did I keep going to look at new ones instead of just trying to take inspiration from some of the houses that I've already pinned like ages ago? So instead of actually doing what I usually do, which is go look at new pictures, I decided to go through the ones that I already have on my boards this time, and I found this one that I thought was a little bit different compared to some of my other houses, mainly because of the roofing that I was very tempted to change as well, because I actually don't like this roofing. I mean, on the main part of the house, like the way that it's not open on the sides, it's not my kind of roofing. But it was a little bit different. It's also been a while since I've built a farmhouse looking house, so I went for it. Obviously, I've had to make a lot of changes to it because I only have access to one picture of the house from the facade. So there's been, it's like my own little version of this house, but it's from Pinterest. I thought it looked cool, a little bit different compared to some of the houses that I've done lately. I also just wanted to do something a little bit more, I know it's a farmhouse, but I also wanted to do something a little bit more traditional instead of a lot of the modern looking houses that I've done as well, and also compared to the Mediterranean houses that we did when my wedding stories came out. So like traditional, but still with a touch of something else because it is a farmhouse. So that's what I ended up choosing. And of course, it also had to be on the bigger side because it is for a very big family. I already, like I said, I knew that I wanted to make it either for either a Generations family home or a foster family home when I went into, when I started looking at pictures actually for inspiration. I knew that it was going to be a bigger one, that I was going to make one of these two themes. Also, if you want to see a foster family home still, let me know. I've done a lot of those, or maybe not a lot, but at least 5 of those in the past. But we're talking 5 out of 300 builds on the channel, so it's probably not a lot, but a fair amount. Kind of reminds me of that time someone complained because and I still just laugh about this. Okay, so it's fine. But someone said that I build way too many Scandinavian homes, and still, like, we're talking out of 300 builds or something like that. Like, there's a lot of house builds up on the channel and apartment builds. Yeah, sure, maybe like 15 of them are Scandinavian, but it's still 15 out of like 300. It's not that much. Plus, I'm also Scandinavian myself. It feels more natural for me to build Scandinavian homes than it does to build American-inspired homes because I'm around Scandinavian interior all the time. Like, I literally live in it. So, I don't know, that just reminded me of that. But, still, like 300, that's so much. Am I reminiscing too much in this voiceover? I might be. I don't really know. There's been so much work has gone into this channel. It's ridiculous. How many hours of building? We should stop this train of thought right now before I have some kind of meltdown. Okay, let's move on. As for the landscaping, I wanted to keep it simple. I didn't want it to be too colorful. I just wanted it to be basically green and white, so that's what I ended up going for. Oh, and also, when I edited the video, I saw that I knew that it happened at some point while I was recording, I just wasn't aware of when, but I missed out on recording just the kitchen. Everything else is fine, except that I decided not to record the bathrooms because they are so simple and just not interesting at all. So I used that as an excuse to basically just not include the bathrooms. They are decorated, don't worry, but they don't look so, they're very small, you know, just kind of there because you need them, that sort of situation. But I must have messed up my recording buttons or something when I got to the kitchen, so that happens sometimes. It's also because I have started using a different recording program, so this one doesn't show on my Stream Deck, and it's kind of annoying. Usually I would have, I don't know if you know what a Stream Deck is, but it's basically, it's like helpful for when you're recording or obviously streaming. And I obviously use it more for recording because that's what I do the most. But I also have all my cheat codes programmed into it, so I don't have to type them out. I can just like push a couple of buttons and we're good to go. But my point is, it's been happening a little bit more often lately, the whole like skipping, or it's not skipping, but missing out on recording parts of the build, because previously with the program that I used before, now I know this is super technical and probably very boring, I just want to explain it anyway, but the program that I used before, it would actually show on my Stream Deck on that button when it was recording, the icon would change, and it doesn't with the program that I'm using right now, but I don't want to go back to the other one because the creators are kind of blah. So I am supporting the better program, but it's making it a little bit harder for me to keep track of when I'm recording, and that sucks. I'm lucky that I have 2 monitors, so I can still kind of track it like that, but sometimes I just don't notice. So that's what happened with the kitchen. But I figured as well that you'd kind of see it right now when I'm cluttering it up, because I did decide to basically over-clutter it just a little bit. So I think it's okay. It's a pretty simple kitchen. I mean, it's made out of, I think that's the country kitchen, actually. Or not the country kitchen, I'm sorry, cottage living kitchen, actually. I kind of wanted to go for the other one, but the thing about that one is that the country kitchen the thing about that kitchen is that it looks a little bit worn. Like, if it fits perfectly in a more older looking farmhouse or cottage, or you know, that sort of interior where everything just looks a little bit older, basically. This is not supposed to be an old looking farmhouse, it's supposed to be a little bit modernized. So there's some wear and tear on those cabinets and also the kitchen counters, and I felt like that just didn't fit into this. Could have overlooked it, but decided not to, so I just went for the cottage living ones instead. However, I do like the country kitchen kit set a little bit better because of the swatches. They are a little bit more playful, if you will. There's some more colors and stuff, so I prefer to use that one, but for this house it just didn't fit. Did you guys know, by the way, I think I've said this before, but I just want to go through this just once because I saw someone actually post about it on Twitter the other day, because they were comparing the amount of items that we get per pack, or per kit, I should say, not per pack. And I think the general amount of items is like 23 to 25, but there's a lot less, seemingly, in the country kitchen kit. However, did you guys know that every model that's included in a kit actually counts as one item. So if you have one counter, it doesn't count as one item. It counts as every single model the counter comes in. So a corner piece, a corner counter, that would be on one item. The end pieces are both for right and left 2 extra items. So the country kitchen kit doesn't actually come with the fewest items, it comes with the most items because there's also clutter in it. I don't know, kind of interesting, you know? But I just saw someone make a not so nice post on Twitter about it the other day because they were complaining about how few items there are in that pack. But if you know about like creating items and modeling and all that, it's actually the biggest kit, which is so weird because it looks like it's the smallest, but anyway. And it's super cute, but not to talk about that kit because we're not using it right now. I was just reminded again, but anyway. That was the grandparents' bedroom, by the way. I think I almost forgot to decorate the parents' bedroom before I went upstairs to decorate all the kids' bedrooms, but it's because it's right next to the front door. So when you enter the front door into a little hallway, the door to the parents' bedroom is on the right side. I could have turned that place into either the living room or possibly like a home office or something like that, but then I decided that this area over here, it would make more sense to turn this into the living room area instead. The thing about this house is as well that the floor plan was a little bit difficult to do. Because there's quite a lot of bigger windows in the house and sliding doors, and the house as well is very wide. So to make sure that you can still enter the garage without actually making too much hallway space, because I don't like to make too many hallways because I feel like that's a waste of space somehow. I know it's kind of weird, but that's just how it is. So I just decided to instead of making that area where the parents' bed, also those are really pretty, but they just did not fit into this house whatsoever. But instead of decorating that room to be the parents' bedroom, I decided to, or to make it the living room, I decided to make it the parents' bedroom. However, that does mean that the parents' bedroom is quite airy and spacious. I almost said spacey. I feel like that means something else. Spacious. But I kind of like it in there. You'll see it in just a little bit. I just almost forgot to decorate it. But this is obviously the living room. I also ended up, I don't think I did this on cam because I think I did it after I decorated the kids' bedrooms, but I do end up placing a TV here because I felt like if you're playing this house, or if you're playing in this house with a big family and you have to take care of all of their needs, you need some easy ways to kind of get their fun up, for example, and watching TV, as far as I remember, is one of the easiest ways to include or increase. I swear I know English anyway. Is one of the easiest ways to increase your Sims fun. So I decided to go back and then add the TV because there was just something missing for that. So also, while I remembered, I am pretty sure that I did not include me decorating the garage actually. Because I think I did it after I'd done the backyard, but I basically just, there's not much going on in there anyway, because it was kind of too small to put a lot of decor in there, and I don't know, it was a little bit of a weird garage, but they do have a couple of fitness machines out there so that your Sims can work out if they should feel like it. I don't know. Unrelatable, but if your Sims feel like it, they can. So I actually don't even think that I included a picture of it in the at the end of the video, but you can see it in the floor plan screenshot if you really want to see it. So it's just a couple of fitness machines and some shelving units or something like that. I don't fully remember. I built this house Monday, Tuesday. I actually really wanted it up Thursday, but I've just been so busy the last couple of days that it's not been possible to do the voiceover and also do the rest of the, you know, the whole editing part, all of that, because trust me when I say like recording the videos, if you make videos, you know what I mean. You know what I'm talking about, but sometimes not with these kind of houses where they're super big. But sometimes the editing part is actually the biggest part of making videos. Obviously with these bigger houses, it's a little bit different because this house took me maybe like 10 hours to build, split up over 2 days as well. But then there's everything after that I just haven't had time for. Also including like making the thumbnail, taking the screenshots, editing all the screenshots, and so on and so on. So It's been a little bit difficult to like find a window where I could sit down and finish up this video. So here we go though. Now it's out on a Saturday. I think I'm gonna do an apartment or a tiny house for tomorrow, but it's my dad's birthday, so it might be up a little bit late, just so you know. Yeah, congratulations to my dad. He's turning older tomorrow. But also, if he's watching the video, hey dad, I'll see you tomorrow. Sometimes he does. I don't really know when. It's kind of a surprise. If I see him, he'll sometimes bring it up like, oh yeah, that video you did the other day. And then mention something that I say in the voiceover, and I'm like, why are you spending your time watching my videos, dad? You don't play The Sims. You don't even... Do you even have a computer? Okay, I know he has a laptop because he writes on it, but still, my point still stands. I don't think he's ever played a computer game or a video game of any kind in his life ever, so why are you watching my videos, Dad? What are you doing? Go enjoy your retirement. Finish your book. Dad, you should finish your book. Anyway, I'm gonna stop talking to my dad now. Hey guys, how are you doing? Anyway, we are decorating the teen's bedroom. I will say that this feels a bit like an older teen as well, I think. So they are possibly moving into young adulthood. That was such a weird way of saying that. Hood. I don't even know what that was. Young adulthood, anyway. So like they're almost moving on to college or something like that. I just get that vibe from this room. I wanted it to be a little bit different from the rest of the house because I wanted it to look like, how do you say this? Like the parents had come to the teen and been like, okay, let's redecorate your bedroom and you get to choose what it looks like. So it's a little bit different. It's a little bit more modernish compared to the rest of the house, but we go back to the other style. Somewhat, at least as close as I can get in the two other bedrooms. It's a bit difficult sometimes with especially kids' bedrooms because we really don't have a lot of furniture that I personally feel fits with kids' bedrooms in The Sims. I don't know. Some of it is a little bit too mature, if you will. I don't know if you can say that about furniture, but that's the best word I got, so. But I tried to make those other two bedrooms look like they fit style-wise as best as I could with the rest of the house. This one, however, like I said, I just kind of wanted it to look like the teen had gotten permission to basically redecorate their room at some point. Maybe when they decided to move into this house, or maybe it had been for someone else. If they've lived here for generations, it had been for someone else and they just didn't like the style or whatever. Maybe it was the other set of grandparents' room and they are no longer with this family, if you know what I mean. Anyway, so it just looks a little bit redecorated and a little bit more style-wise, more modern, I want to say. So, and obviously this teen loves shoes. I have this little room over in the corner and I didn't really know what to do with it. So I decided to place down some shelves and just, I don't know, it was either shoes or decor, just like random clutter pieces, but I thought, you know what, the shoes. This teen has so many shoes, they just love shoes. So there's a lot of shoe clutter over there. I swear, like, I've said this like 3 times in this voiceover. English today. What's going on with it? Clue shutter? What is that? I have no idea. At least we can laugh about it, right? Yeah, okay, good. Laugh with me, thank you, please. But also, color scheme-wise, I still wanted it to fit with the rest of the house, so it's still in these, like, lighter colors, and I don't know, I felt like that was a bit important, just so it didn't stand out too much, at least. So as for the kids' bedroom, was a little bit, you know, a basic kid's bedroom, but I think the only thing that stands out a little bit in here is actually the bookcase over in the corner. But I really wanted this kid to have a bookcase. I just felt like they were a kid with a bookcase for some reason. Do you guys ever, if you decorate houses, do you ever just get this like, oh yeah, they would read, you know, like, or yeah, I feel like the Sim just really loves animals or something like that. With this kid, I was just like, yeah, they love their dollhouse and they love their books. So they have a little bookcase over in the corner. It's again one of those items, this one, that looks a little bit more on the mature side. I wouldn't say that that's necessarily a children's room kind of bookcase, but maybe they took it from somewhere else in the house and decided to put it up here because the kid just loves books or something like that. So I was also trying to find a way that I could use these garlands because it hit me that I hadn't used them for the longest time, but for some reason they just didn't fit in on this wall. So I don't think I ended up using them. I'm not really sure. The room is pretty decorated. It's very cramped in here, mainly because of the dollhouse, to be honest. But also, I would rather the dollhouse is there than there just being a lot of empty space in the middle of the room. So, and then of course, adding a lot of clutter that looks very childlike, but still like you could easily have that in other rooms as well. I love this penguin. I have one like it just behind me. So, and I'm obviously not a child, so it's definitely versatile, what's it called? Clutter. But I feel like it fits well in here, so just keeping everything very cutesy. Oh, for this room, for the toddler's room, I decided to go for almost like a summer theme sort of situation. So I haven't been using this painting here for a very long time, but I found this swatch that obviously there's a sun on it. Yep, super summery. So I decided to try and kind of color scheme wise fit the rest of the furniture with that painting. Oh, I was desperately wanted to use this little tent, but it was just way too big for this room. I don't know, I'm finding that one, it's like the dollhouse situation all over again. I kind of want to size it down all the time, but I'm not really sure that it actually works, whereas the dollhouse does if you size it down. So I haven't really been using the tent much, but it's such a cute item. I think it's from Eco Lifestyle, right? I think, I'm not entirely sure. But also one thing I want to note is that I really want more toddler furniture items, like toddler room furniture, because we just don't have a lot, I feel. I don't know. Maybe that's also because I don't really know what toddler rooms look like in real life. I don't know. It's kind of hard. Like, what do I take inspiration from? I feel like I haven't really seen a toddler's bedroom for the longest time. So my cousin has a daughter who's like just older than a toddler now, I think. And I've seen her bedroom. It's very decorated. Like very, very decorated. She very proudly showed her bedroom to me because she really likes me. But anyway, I don't know why, because I'm not really very good with kids, but she's like, I like you. So anyway, but that's the only one I've seen for the longest time. So I don't really know what toddler bedrooms look like. You know, it's kind of hard to decorate them when you don't really know what they look like. Maybe I should try and use Pinterest for that, actually. That would make sense, because I feel like I know what nurseries look like or what they require better than I know what toddler bedrooms look like. So I should probably go search for some inspiration pictures on Pinterest, right? Yeah, I should do that. Anyway, as for the backyard, I ended up placing down, it's actually a very simple, like, okay, I wouldn't say it's a simple backyard because I ended up spending a lot of time on, like, not necessarily terrain paint per se, but I ended up placing down some of those rocks that I always use from the debug catalog. They got a sand pit and then a lounge area and then the pool. So in that way, they don't have like a lot of activity stuff in the backyard, if that's how you put it, but I actually ended up not recording big parts of it because I was having issues trying to lay out the backyard. I don't know, it just wasn't working for me. My head was not in the right space, I suppose, or something. So it was a little bit of a challenge in that way, at least. But I also knew for this backyard that I didn't want to just make it like every other backyard that I do. So I changed the shape of the pool. I changed it up a little bit more in a little bit. And I also wanted to, actually it ends up looking like this. So I've already changed it. I might have done that off cam, or I don't know. I was looking at my floor plan screenshot so I can see what my backyard looks like. But also, this is one thing I do with my builds as well. I try to place the house in the middle of the lot so that I have a lot of front yard space, but also that means I don't have a lot of backyard space necessarily. I just like having a lot of front yard space. I don't know what that's about. Because I know some other builders place their houses very close to the pavement or sidewalk, whatever you want to call that, the road. I just like having front yard space. I don't know what it is. Do you prefer when the houses are just very close to the road, or is it okay to place it in the middle of the lot? I don't know anymore. Anyway, but since they don't have a lot of backyard space, obviously, you know, it's kind of limited what I can do. But I also wanted to make sure that they didn't just have like an outdoor seating area placed down in the backyard. So I placed that on the terrace instead and made it very, very simple because I wanted to make sure that whatever I put in the backyard area, so not on the patio, but like in the grassy area, had a little bit more detail to it. and that's why I ended up going for one of the pergolas. I was trying different ones out for the lounge area. I just knew that I wanted to make it very cozy and like cute and stuff, so I was trying out some of the pergolas, ended up going for the base game one that has like flowers on it and stuff. It's so cute. So the lounge area is very closed off. It's not just like you can look straight into it. You have to kind of angle your camera so that you can look into it. And it also divides the pool area from the sand pit area. Sand pit area? Yeah, where there's a jungle bar, monkey jungle bar, whatever, that thing. So yeah, that's basically what I ended up doing with the backyard. I like how it turned out. There's not a lot of like grass anywhere, but that's how I think I've come to terms with it. That's just how I like my backyards. Not a lot of like free grass anywhere. That sounded weird. You know what I mean, like just like grassy areas. There's not a whole lot of that. Everything has to be covered by either tile or sand pit or terrain paint or tiles again or something like that. But they also have a couple of plant pots and also a flower arrangement table. So it's kind of hidden under a tree, but it's there. Yeah. Oh, and there's also the grill. They also have a grill. But I think that's pretty much it for this build. So let's wrap up this voiceover. Oh, also I want to say that there's new giveaways starting next week, by the way. The winners of the other one was announced over on the community tab earlier this week, just in case you had not noticed and were wondering why it hasn't stopped the giveaway. It has, but I wrote it over on the community tab. But anyway, if you guys like this house, you can download it off the gallery. My ID is AvelineYT, and you can also find it under the hashtag Aveline or AvelineYT. And as always, the trade files can be found over on my Patreon, which will be linked to in the description box as well as in the pinned comment. If you like books, check out my booktube channel. That'll also be linked in the pinned comments. But that is all I got today. So I hope you all enjoyed this video. Please like and subscribe and all that good stuff if you did. And I will see you all in the next one. Bye-bye!
Even when my teardrops start to dry, even when the sun begins to shine again, I'm taking all the advice there is and none of it has helped. Experience has made me realize that I won't build my life on empty words. Being so damn naive, it only hurts. I'm so tired of love songs, life never turns out the way they do. I've been trying for so long, looking for someone who wants me to. I've heard every cliche there is and none of them make sense. I'm so tired of love songs, I'm sick and tired of love songs. I'm so tired of you. Looking back on how I used to be, I always thought that love was made for me. Oh well, I was just as blue-eyed as the sky could ever be. Loving you has made me realize I'm so tired of love songs, life never turns out the way they do. I've been trying for so long, looking for someone who wants me to. I've heard every cliche there is and none of them make sense. I'm so tired of love songs, I'm sick and tired of love songs. I'm so tired of you. I'm so tired of you. I'm so tired of you. I'm so tired of love songs, sick and tired of love songs. Even when my teardrops start to dry, and even when the sun begins to shine,